Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon. Thank you for joining us on this particular platform, acknowledged as Project 365. We're here to give you hope, encouragement, inspiration, and information. It is a pleasure to be here before you on today. I am Portia Wheatley. I am the founder and the president of a nonprofit organization, acknowledged as Trophy of Life Incorporated. And we have, again, the opportunity to bring you hope, encouragement, and information and inspiration. I love it. I love it. Let me bring in my co-host.
Hello, everyone. My name is Takara Swan, and I am so happy to be here with you on this beautiful Wednesday. We are day 200 and
it's not Wednesday.
Is it Wednesday? Tuesday?
What day is it? Reginald, what day is it?
Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. Oh my goodness. Okay, viewers, I've been thinking it was Wednesday all day. Please forgive me. It's beautiful Tuesday, okay? And this is day 278. So we have been doing this consecutively for 278 days, and we are so happy to bring you hope, encouragement, and inspiration. And today, some very useful information. But before we bring on our guest today, I just want to remind you to go to our YouTube page, like, share, subscribe, so that you can share hope, encouragement, and inspiration to the entire world.
To the entire world. We thank God that we're an instrument of His to spread hope, encouragement, and inspiration, and the fact that you are a part of our team. Well, we are so grateful to God to share some information with you on today through the person of Reginald Gant. He's here with us to share about wills and estate planning and how that can be made easy and affordable. We're really grateful to learn how we can make that happen. Thank you for accepting our invitation to come, Reginald. We appreciate it. And you have the platform that share with us what you have.
Well, ladies, I really appreciate this opportunity. It's an honor to represent myself and my wife. So on behalf of Reginald and Henneth Gant, we first of all, thank you. I mean, just to hear the commitment of almost 270 days doing anything lets me know that not only is this something that's effective, but this is now habit, because we know that it takes at least at least 21 days to do something to break a habit, right? So anything that you do past 21 days is now a new habit. But to be on almost day 270, 280, going on 300 is just absolutely amazing. So we thank you for this opportunity. My name is Reginald Gant. My wife and I, we are a proud, godly couple who resides here in Baltimore County with our 5 children here in the Randallstown, Windsor Mill area. And we've been doing this very important work in our community for a number of years. So since 2005, one of the things that's really been pressed upon our hearts, one of the things that drives us, that continues to keep us passionate, is the ability for us to be able to wrap what we call protection, peace of mind, and a plan around individuals, around families, around those in business when it comes to wills and estate plans. So just in case you've watched social media, tuned in anytime recently, we all know that there was a very famous comedian / actor who passed away, recently. His name was A.J. Johnson. Most notably, he was known for his role in the movie Friday. And the big buzz was that his wife took to social media and posted a GoFundMe page because she was really looking to raise some funds, for this gentleman, who we've seen in the movies, who we've seen on screen, over the years, who would have assumed to have his affairs in order. But unfortunately, she had to come to GoFundMe. She had to request the funds to be able to bury him. And And, again, that pained my heart because it takes me a few months back earlier in the year. And I remember when famous rapper slash actor DMX also passed away. And although his family didn't have to do a GoFundMe, one of the things that I learned about DMX and his estate was that he also did not have a will or estate plans in place. And you think about all of the money, all of the millions that have come across these individuals' hands and their families, and the ways that we should set ourselves up. It reminds my wife and me that we still have a work to do when it comes to education, right? And awareness, especially in this particular space. So I just want to pose this question right now to anyone watching, whether you're watching it live or on the replay. Do you have your legal affairs in order right now? And that's either a yes, I do, or a no, I don't. And if it's a yes, you do, that's great. You are in the minority. But if it's a no, I don't just yet, I want you to know, hey, that's pretty much the average. That's the norm. And that's why I'm here to provide a little bit of education, some information, some hope, some encouragement, some inspiration as well. Whether we know it or not, tens of thousands of people die each and every year. They don't have their wills. They don't have their estate plans in order. They don't have life insurance. But I'm here to share some light that these things are affordable, right? So just to talk about wills and estate plans just for a few moments. I'm not sure if you are aware, but nationwide, across the nation, right, across America, 7 out of 10 American households do not have a last will and testament or wills, right? And this is nationwide statistics. 7 out of 10 Americans that you walk across or walk past on the streets don't have their wills in place. Now, it gets a little bit more interesting because when you take it to the Black and brown communities, right, people of color, 9 out of 10 Black and brown families of color do not have their affairs in order. And it just makes me wonder, why is that? And it takes me back to the very first time when I was actually introduced to the concept of getting a will, a last will, a medical directive, right? A healthcare power of attorney, all of those things. And I remember I was in my mid to late 20s. And there was a young lady, and she asked me, did I have a will in place? And I kind of laughed and I shrugged it off, because here I am, I wasn't even 30 at that particular point in time. And I was like, no, like, why would I have a will in place? Because again, my mindset, when I heard the word will, when I heard estate planning, my mindset automatically took me to a place where, that's something for old people, right? That's the end of life thing. Like, I'm not even 30. I still have the rest of my life ahead of me. And then the young lady, she was like, well, I understand that. She began to ask me some more questions. She learned that I was a dad, and my daughter's mother and I, we weren't together. And she learned that, at that time I had a small business and I had a home and I had an automobile. And she said, hey, Mr. Gant, if you died right now, like, how are you protecting like all of these things that you've been working hard for, especially your daughter? And I was like, well, I don't really understand what you mean. And she began to share with me the importance of a will. Now, if you're watching and you're a parent, right, whether you're co-parenting, whether you're a blended family, does not matter, whether you're a single parent, I want you to understand this very important concept. This is what I've really learned to be true over the years. If you are a parent and you pass away unexpectedly, right, because none of us really knows when that time is going to happen, and you don't have a will in place, what you actually are saying is that I give permission, power, and authority to the state in which I reside to make decisions on my children or child's future, right? And also those assets, those things that you've been working hard for over the years, you're also giving those over to the state of Maryland. I'm sorry, if you reside in Maryland, the state in which you reside in, you are basically saying, hey, I give you permission to make those decisions on my behalf. And the more the young lady began to talk to me, I say, well, I'm curious because I want to be responsible, right? And I was not educated on the importance of a will. But once somebody told me that, if I didn't have one in place, then I'm basically giving the state of Maryland permission to say, hey, you figure out what's going to happen to your daughter. You figure out what's going to happen to your automobile, right? Your home, your bank accounts, and things of that nature. I wanted to learn more. And it was at that ripe young age, I believe I was about 27, 28, when I decided that, you know what, I wanted to have that power. And the amazing part about the entire process, first of all, my whole mindset shifted when I realized that you can have an estate plan and be in your 20s. You can have it in your 30s, you can have it in your 40s, and it's encouraged because what it is proactivity and it's peace of mind. And like we call it, it's a plan in place so that when life happens, you alleviate a lot of things. When we leave this earth, first of all, you know, our family is already grieved, right? It's already a loss. It's tragic. It's hard to deal with. But what we find too common, too often in our communities, in our Black and Brown communities, is that not only do we leave our families to grieve, we leave our families to make difficult decisions because we didn't take the responsibility, right, for using our time to protect ourselves proactively. And when this young lady shared with me a way that I could do it, and she was like, hey, you know, I don't understand, you know, how much money you're making, you know, it doesn't really matter, but it's affordable. And I'm thinking automatically, you know, you're talking about wills, you're talking about estate plans, you're talking about health and medical directors. I was like, surely this has to cost like hundreds to thousands of dollars. And I did my research. And on average, you know, what I found to be true was that a will or estate plan can cost anywhere between $800 to $1,000 per person. Right. So that means if you're a married couple like my wife and I, you are looking at anywhere between $1,600 to $2,000 to make sure that you take care of your affairs. And I told the young lady, I was like, I don't have that kind of money right now. And she showed me a better way. And she introduced me to a service, and we're so proud to offer that service. And the name of that service that we offer, that we've been offering since 2005, is called Legal Shield. And what Legal Shield is it gives us the ability for less than, $360, I believe. Not only does it protect an individual, but an individual can get, this is what you get. And this is amazing because mind you, I say $800 to $1,000 per person on average. For less than $360, whether you are an individual or a married couple, or whether you have a significant other. So let's just say that you are in that long-term relationship. You've been together forever. You're not married, but you're still recognized as a couple. Legal Shield for less than $360 will still give you both your living will, your last will and testaments, your medical directives, as well as your financial directives. And if you can't afford the $360 lump sum, what I love about this amazing organization is that they break it down. So the same way that we pay like our bills every month, you can get on a payment plan and for as little as $29 a month for at least 12 months. So for the following year, if you decide in your mind that, you know, my family is worth it, I want them to have that peace of mind, I want them to have that protection, for literally as little as $29 a month for the next 12 months, you can become a member of Legal Shield and you automatically get access to your wills, to your estate plans. And it's wills made easy. You can download a mobile app on your cell phone because we don't go anywhere without our cell phones these days. Let's be honest. You can begin to fill out what we have called our will questionnaire. So whether you're old school and you want to print it out and, you know, write on actual paper with ink and then mail it into the law firm, or whether you're tech savvy and you want to pull out your cell phone and start to fill in the information on your mobile phone or your tablet or your gadget, either way, it's made easy because there's a pre-populated questionnaire that asks you very specific questions and they leave nothing behind. So even if you're a pet owner, there are questions in there about what happens to your pets, even if you pass away, right? Things that we don't think about. And a lot of times in our community, we shun and we run away from these difficult conversations for various reasons. And I understand. And, you know, as a man, as a father, as a husband myself, I'm absolutely relentless when I talk to men about stepping up into our leadership roles as protectors, as providers, because that's what God has called us to be for our families. So how can we talk about, hey, you know, I'll do whatever is necessary for my family, and then we slip out of this earth because we don't know when, and we fail to do that part. So I get excited every time that I get to talk about this because there is a way, and it's called Legal Shield, and the way is affordable. and it's $29 a month, right? Or if you just want to just do it a one-time thing, it's $360. So if you're a single parent, $360. I mean, stimulus checks, right, are hitting each and every month. And I'm pretty sure there's been quite a few stimulus checks out there. And even if you have to go out here, and sacrifice maybe some of your discretionary spending, is $29 a month worth of peace of mind? Absolutely it is, right? So you don't have to worry about the cost. So one of the things that I'm big about is the education piece. I want us to retrain the way that we think about wills and estate plans, because it's no longer for old people. And this is what I want to leave you with. It's for smart people. Smart people make smart decisions. And Legal Shield gives you the ability to not only just get your wills done, but you get access to legal services, unlimited consultation, because there's going to be other parts of life in which you will need assistance, whether it's IRS, even if you have, questions about what your rights are as an employee. Obviously, the president is making a lot of mandates right now. Everything is mandated. Mandate this, mandate that. You want to have access to your rights. You want questions answered. Legal Shield gives you the peace of mind to be able to do what? Pull out your cell phone. Get your attorney on the phone. Get your law firm on the phone. But the purpose of today's call is that wills and estate plans can be made easy. It can be made affordable. And I'm proud to share that after I got mine in my mid to late 20s, I went on to share it with my parents. And we began to share it with our family and friends. And now here we are, all of these years later, my wife and I, we've been blessed and honored. And it's a privilege to have protected thousands of people with this membership, with this peace of mind. So Ms. Wheatley, I can continue to talk day in and day out, but I just want to say hope, encouragement, and inspiration are the core values and the essence of this show. For the person that thinks that, hey, I don't have anything to leave behind, I want you to realize you do. Even if it's just a watch, even if it's just a picture, it could be your TV, a mink coat. You have something that somebody wants. So my challenge to you is, what are you going to do to protect it, right? So there is hope. And the hope is, guess what? I can afford it. You don't have to worry about being priced out. You don't have to worry about not being able to handle the financial part. You can. And I encourage you to not to have your family be a part of the 9 out of 10 in the minority community who are not protected. I encourage you and I implore you to be the 1 out of 10 that does. When I share this information, I love when I come across somebody that says, hey, you know what, Reggie, I appreciate you saying that, but I'm already taken care of in that aspect. I love to hear that. But more often than not, what I get is that, hey, I'll get to that. I'll get to that. I'll get to that. And unfortunately, for many of us, sometimes we never get to it. And then as we find out in A.J. Johnson's situation, he slipped out of this life and his family had to figure out how to grieve. They had to figure out what to do next. And my hope and my encouragement and my inspiration to you is that I want you to ask yourself, is my family worth it? Why am I working so hard? Why am I putting in 40 plus hours a week? Why am I doing all of this if I'm only going to leave it unprotected, unguarded, and I'm going to leave those critical decisions for my loved ones, for my assets, up to complete strangers to make on my behalf? That is not how we operate. So since we are all smart people who are watching, smart people who are listening, smart people make smart decisions, I want you to check out our website. And I'll give you the short link. It's bit.ly/the Gants. And that's THEGANTS. So that's bit.ly/the Gants. You'll have all of the information that you need. And I would just love to connect with you, answer any questions. So if I can just say in parting, Ms. Wheatley, thank you for having me. But there is hope, there is encouragement, there is inspiration, because we see a world in which we reverse that 9 out of 10 of us not having wills and estate plans to where 9 out of 10 of us in the Black and brown community do have our wills and affairs in order. And that's what we're working hard for. That's what we've been doing for the last 15, 16 plus years. And we will continue to do so until more of our families are educated, aware, and protected. So with that, Ms. Wheatley, I can turn it back over to you. I appreciate you so much.
Mm. Thank you so very much, Reginald. That was excellent information. I tell you what, the when you said we value, how much do you value your family? You stated something to the effect of after you've worked all of these years, not just the hours that lead into the months and the years, and then you're going to leave it up to someone that don't even know who you are, don't even know your name. Your name is really a number for them to decide what you worked for over the years.
Yeah.
No, no. But and then I thought about as well when you talk about it being so affordable. I mean, one McDonald's, stop going to McDonald's for one day, let alone a week. And
Absolutely.
that money, I'm sorry, say it again.
No, I said absolutely. I mean, we spend $29 at, Papa John's, Popeyes, Chick-fil-A, why not just give yourself a peace of mind? And that's one of our talking points all the time. Like, cut out the junk food, cut out the extra spending, right? And put that money towards something that's important, because nobody makes it out of this life alive, and until we figure out how to do that, we need to make sure that we protect, what we've been working for all these years.
And it's good when we can accept and walk by, journey with that particular mindset, because we can teach it to our children, the next generation. They need to know this so that they will know as well what to do, how to do it, and then even the paperwork. They know daddy's got it all.
Yeah.
He has us taken care of. The man of the house. That's who God said it would be, the man of the house. And then even if there is not a man in the home, ladies, we know you got it. You've got it, and you can do what needs to be done, what is necessary. You can do it, and let your family know. Once we get the information, we are responsible to share it with other family members. I think that is. Now, I do have a question. Now, once that is established and filed, can family members change that information once it's filed?
Absolutely. I love that question. Thank you so much for that. So once you are a member of Legal Shield, we like to consider it to be a lifetime partnership. So as long as you have access to the membership, as long as you keep the membership, right? Because it's a monthly subscription. So it's kind of like Netflix. You pay a small premium every month and you have access to all that it has to offer. You do get free updates to your wills and your estate plans every year. So that's what I love about it. Not only do you get it up front, but as life goes on, as you get married, some get divorced, some add children, right? Some remove children. As life changes for you, you do get that free update at least once a year, as long as you have the membership. So that's a great question.
That's good, that we're securing our future.
Absolutely.
Definitely securing our future.
Well, I think this information is absolutely wonderful. And viewers, let me tell you, everything he said is so true. It's so right. You definitely need to take advantage of services like these. I have put both links in the comments below. So if you don't want to type it, just go ahead and click the link on the comment that I put in there and it'll take you straight to it. Mr. Gant, you are so right. Let me tell you, when I was first out of college, like straight out of college, and I had my very first job, one of my bosses said, "Hey, do you have a will in place?" And I said, "For what?" I'm like 22. So what am I going to do? I'm leaving my Bluetooth speaker to my sister. And he was like, "Yes, that's what you're going to do." And I'm just like, "Oh, okay." But it's so much more to that than just saying, I'm leaving physical items to family members. COVID running rampant. We never know when our time, believers, we say we don't know the day nor the hour. It's so true, because even if, God forbid, something is, someone gets in an accident and now you're in a coma, who is the person who's going to make decisions on your behalf? You're not gone, you're still here, but you don't want anyone who doesn't know you. You're just a number. You're just a person in a hospital bed. Hospital beds are running short. You don't want anyone to have to make a decision on your behalf. You need to advocate for yourself. So businesses like this, support this business, support this service. It is for your benefit, for you and your family. And my last thing I'm going to say is we've all seen or heard of, when someone passes away and family members or siblings are at war because they're, they are grieving. They have to make those difficult decisions. Like you said, emotions are running wild. Let's just make it easy on our family members. Don't have your family members fighting over who's going to get the house, who's going to get a shoe. Let's just settle all that now so that your family can grieve and be at peace and start to heal.
I love how you summarize that. And that's literally why we call it the 3 P's, right? It's peace of mind, it's protection, and it's a plan in place, because life will happen. And you're right, I didn't touch on the medical directors, right? But I mean, even DNRs, right? Do not resuscitate. You want to begin to communicate with your loved ones. Hey, should something happen to me, do I want to be hooked up on machines? Do I want to just let nature take its course, right? If those things aren't spelled out, if you don't have the healthcare, the medical power of attorney, those things in place, again, like you said, Takira, you leave that up to strangers to decide. Somebody might come along and say, hey, let's pull the plug on him. Meanwhile, in your brain, you can't communicate. You want to stay alive, right? So we owe it to ourselves to be good stewards over that which God has given us. And I speak to the men right now. I speak to the man, the father, the husband. We owe stewardship to our loved ones. Physically, we will protect them. Financially, we will protect them. But this is an area in which a lot of men run away because they just don't want to have the tough conversations. And I want to change the narrative in which, we handle these kinds of things in our community. We have to have these conversations. We have to have them now. We have to be proactive, right? My wife and I, we have a blended family. We had to literally come together. I had a child before we got married. She had a child before we got married. And then we added additional children after marriage. So we had to say, hey, you know what? If something happens to Reggie, this is what happens. Then we had to say, hey, if something happens to Bianca, this is what happens. But then we had to really sit and say, hey, if something happened to Reggie and Bianca together, then what? Because we're talking about now external families that are also a part of this dynamic. So it really forced us to sit down and engage in some pretty difficult conversations, and what's more important than your children, right? We have businesses and all those things are nice, but what's more important than our children and their well-being? Do we really want Marilyn to come in and say, hey, you know what? I'm splitting all 5 of y'all up. Or do we want to say, hey, you know what? We're going to come together. We're going to be touching and agreeing. And we're going to pull in those individuals. And we're going to have those conversations with family that we designate that, should something happen to us, you're up next, right? Tough conversations to have, but they're needed in our community. And that's what we're here for.
And that's what I'm talking about. That's what Project 365 brings to you. Tough conversations that need to be had. You definitely have to have these types of conversations to prepare for our family and ourselves for the future. We have to have those types of conversations. Now, Reggie, do you ever hold any types of gatherings, whether they're in person or virtual, for the topic being men and what you just stated?
That's interesting that you said that. I actually just launched, and I'm so excited about this, a virtual community for men and fathers and husbands, right? Ooh. And it's global. So what God began to tell me in 2009 was that I would lead leaders and that I would lead men. And here we are 12 years later, like God is, he's true to what he says. And I'm so excited about this community because I'm using this community as a safe space for us as men and fathers and husbands to come inside and to take off our capes. And we don't have to be Superman, right? I want guys to come as they are. And one of the things, that's a topic within our community is family protection. And one of the things that I've made crystal clear, to every man that comes into the community, and I can see this being a global community. Yes. Right now we have 30 members, but I just launched it on Friday night. So, I don't despise small beginnings, but I can see men all over the world coming to be better men, better fathers, better husbands. And you best believe, Ms. Whitley, at the forefront of all of that, I will be saying, have your wills in place, have your estate plans in place, right? Protect the things that matter the most. I will not stop singing these things until my eyes close for the final time. Because, I literally believe that God has created us to lead, to protect, and to provide and serve His way. And God is big about stewardship. And men, we need to be good stewards over our families as well as the same way that some of these men treat their cars in the summertime, right? Come on. The way that they treat their tennis shoes in the summertime, we need to be even better stewards of our loved ones, right? Which means that we have to do the things that nobody wants to do. We have to confront things that nobody wants to confront. We have to bring up the difficult conversations and maneuver through those to be the good stewards that God has called us to be. So yeah, within the community, I definitely plan on doing a lot. But um I'm always talking to pastors. We can always schedule a virtual Zoom. When we were in person, we did, workshops, quarterly, or sometimes twice a year in the community, in and around Baltimore City and county. But because of this pandemic, yeah, now we just do things, the way that we're doing it now virtually. But I'm always up for a conversation. I'm always up to educate. One of the things that I love to tell people, look, I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm here to educate you, right? Because once the mind expands, it does not go back. You can no longer say, I didn't know about wills and estate plans after this message. Whether you choose to
Right.
get one or not is up to you, but you can no longer say, I did not know, I was not aware. I'm all about education and awareness. Smart
Great.
people make smart decisions.
Absolutely. That's great information. And it usually, we want to find information to share. And definitely today is a message that you will want to share with family and friends and even your enemies, pull those enemies in and educate them. Thank you so very much. Now, when you had that particular event with educating the men or something that deals with wills and estate planning, let me know. I'll be a supporter in and at least posting it on my between the website or my Facebook page because we have to do it as a team. No man is an island. No man stands alone. We have to do it and share as a team. So, to our audience, please share this particular broadcast with men, women, your family members, church members, anyone that you feel could use this information. And again, Reggie, we thank you for accepting our invitation to come. Thank you. Shout out to Teresa Sutton for the connection.
Yeah,
We
thank
love and appreciate you. We love and appreciate you. Takira, guess what we're going to do? We're going to see these our audience tomorrow. Can you let me know what time we're going to see them tomorrow with another wonderful empowering message of hope, encouragement, and inspiration?
We will be back here tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
All right. Thanks again, Reggie. We shall see you around. Blessings to you and yours.
you, ladies.